So you work at Favor Delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Favor if you guys. Yeah.
Shout out Favor and HEB.
Yeah, Favor and HEB. We shop at HEB often, and we get delivery from HEB. So Favor is exclusively the delivery for HEB.
Yeah, so HEB owns Favor, and they've owned it for about 6 years.
They own Favor. Wow.
Yeah,
It's a Texas company.
Yeah, we're Texas only delivery company. So we're only in Texas, and I think that's part of what makes us so successful is that we're just really, really focused on what we're doing in one state.
That's amazing. Yeah, so it seems like that'd be a cool aspect because you're a local Texas foodie, you know.
Yeah, it kind of works together, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. And man, your role there at Favor is pretty interesting. Like you find new restaurants to add to the app.
Yeah,
to make accessible for people out there. So how do you go about doing that? Like, I mean, is it difficult to find new restaurants? Do restaurants reach out to you to get on the app? Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, it's kind of a mixture. So I would say like maybe 5% of my like leads are inbound. So restaurants reaching specifically out to Favor to get up on the app. And then the rest is me looking for restaurants that I know that people want. So like, you know, I know that not everyone, a lot of people love sushi. So looking for good restaurants that have good sushi that people would want for delivery. So it's really kind of just like about trying to get into the consumer's mind and knowing what they want and then trying to make those partnerships happen with restaurants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, wow, that's interesting. How do you learn that? Like, how do you, because you don't think like a consumer. A lot of people, they just think, okay, I need businesses. Where do I start? And, you know, they start somewhere else, but you're thinking like in the mind of the consumer.
I think that's just part of like who I am and how I've always been. Like, I always try to put myself in whoever the customer is, like whatever job I'm doing, like what do they want and trying to achieve that. And I think that's what anybody who's in hospitality, that's excellent at what they do. They try to put themselves in their customer's shoes and try to accomplish what the customer wants.
Yeah, hospitality, that's big. That's a big one right there. So your role is senior account executive.
Yeah.
That sounds huge.
It's not as fancy as it sounds. Yeah.
So has it allowed you to support local businesses?
I think so. So my main focus at Favor is to partner with local businesses. We have a national team who work with corporations. So the majority of what I do is going after smaller and sometimes regional brands. So for example, like I can kind of work after going after like Shipley's if they're owned by a franchisee. But as far as like Whataburger, like I personally would never go after them because they're more of a corporate account. So my job is to go after small local businesses and bring them valuable customers that are ready to spend money with them.
Yeah, there's a restaurant that was sponsoring us for a while, El Vago Burger and Barbecue. Have you tried them out?
I haven't. They are on my like mental list of places I need to go.
Yeah. Oh my!
I've heard a lot of good things.
Yeah, it's delicious. You should try them out. And I was thinking about them because like, is there certain criteria that restaurants have to meet in order to be a part of Favor?
I mean, not necessarily. So like we don't do like, you know, home-based kitchens, things like that. So it has to be like an actual like restaurant.
Like brick and mortar place.
Like a brick and mortar. I mean, maybe a ghost kitchen as well. You know what I mean? We do work with those.
Oh, okay.
So there's some restaurants who have like their regular, you know, business and then they'll have like an extra concept within the business that they do just for delivery. But they're still a brick and mortar restaurant after all. So you have to be a brick and mortar restaurant. And then other than that, really my ideal partner would have like consistent hours. You know what I mean? They're not like changing it up every other week.
Yeah.
They're staying consistent. They keep their menu relatively consistent, maybe change it every now and then.
Yeah.
Like if you have a daily special, like, okay, but if you're changing your menu every single week, that can get a little like taxing, you know, for Favor to have to change it constantly.
Yeah.
So really that's pretty much it. Just someone who's like, you know, kind of ready to try to grow, even if that's incrementally, and just 10 extra orders a day can really add up over time.
Do you see the restaurants that you've added? Like, do you see them growing?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, like, for example, we are partnered with Kiko's, and, you know, Kiko's has had a very long-standing brand that they've built themselves, but they do very, very well on Favor delivery.
Wow.
And, you know, this year they opened a second location, and, you know, I'm sure they could have done that without us, but I'm sure like having that extra income from Favor doesn't hurt.